Good evening everybody, welcome to Inside Line Racing here for ILR8 here at the Canadian Grand Prix, where we are luckily going to have a full dry race and probably a very competitive one at that. As you can see, 19 people in the lobby, looking all good for hopefully another good chapter of this title fight. As I said on Twitter earlier, you might have seen it, Baza is currently 21 points clear, but I don't know, one thing that came to mind watching old Canadian Grand Prix as well is that it just doesn't really work for the, championship contenders half the time. The world champions, for example, Vettel on the last lap in 2011. It's one of those races where a lot can happen, and so I'm very much looking forward to seeing how this one's going to go. And of course, I'm coming to it on why, and luckily for all of you, you're going to get to see me twice tonight for ILR8 now, obviously, and for ILR4 later on, as we still look to find a full-time commentator for that one. Please do, I think we are still yet to find one. If you're looking at maybe getting a commentary spot on ILR, DM the ILR account, see if they will take you or whatever, because we are, like I say, looking for people for ILR4 full-time. I mean, I would do it, but school. I really shouldn't be doing this. Luckily, I've got no homework or anything, so I get away with it. Anyway, let's find somebody on a set of the softs on an actual lap. I reckon we'll be doing pretty much 4 runs of softs if these guys can. Others maybe chose a more conservative setup, but yeah, it should be soft to hard really for this one. Shouldn't be too difficult to judge this one correctly. As Commando to the line goes involved, although let's be honest, who wasn't expecting that, seeing how big of a cut that was at the last chicane. Now, something else we're trying to do today, well, more specifically, something that I've noticed and would quite like us to achieve today. I think we can. 1.4k subscribers, we're very close to that, and obviously, I like me numbers and all that. It'd be pretty nice, wouldn't it, to get a decently subscriber milestone tonight. I think we're only about 6 away from it right now, so if you're new here, do please consider subscribing. It'd be very nice if you did. I'd appreciate it very much, as would the rest of us, of course. Oh, sorry, no, we're only 4 subscribers away, so we're getting there. Anyway, unfortunately, I just don't think we're going to see any actual runs yet that are valid. Either, oh god, Mike, you're gonna do this for me, lad. You're gonna give us a good lap here. And while we're watching, I have got a few things to talk about, actually. More specifically, I love my long stints in the commentary box, as I'm sure you all know. And last season, at the end of last season, we did a 5-lap championship for a few of the drivers in the lower tiers, and we're going to be doing that again. I believe it'll be on the 10th of October, our week off. Because, yeah, it was really successful last time, and I'm very much looking forward to doing it again. Jacko will be hosting this, just as he did last year. Well, I say last year, last season, last game. And, yeah, very much looking forward to seeing how these guys will do. I'm just going to quickly send someone into the channel and I can explain more in detail, because I need to get the link out for the stream. It'd be quite nice. Oops, put an extra space between ILR8 and PS4. It's going to drive my OCD on. Unbelievably crazy. Oh dear. But anyway, so these runs aren't really anything important too much right now, so I'll take a minute of your time. So it's the 10th of October 2019 we're going to be doing this event. The week we're off, I believe, because of the one of the races. I don't know which race it is. I think we have a clash with a real life race, that's why we can't race. Probably USA, but or something like that. Anyway, 10th of October 2019, it'll be nearly a 3-hour event, 8:45 or 7:45 till 9:30, very long thing, and it's going to be, once again, a 5-lap championship, 9 races, all 5 laps each. We'll have I think we'll have a nighttime Monaco race, we'll have a Belgium race, we'll have a few more. Reigning champion, Apex Whiteside, if you remember him, he won that first ILR championship of that last season. He'll be coming back to try and retain his crown against 19 other hopeful drivers. And the prize fund last season was a tenner. This season it is going to be 25 quid or 30 quid if our champion wins over half the races, I think. So basically, if you win 5 or more races and you take the championship, you're going to get a cheeky 30 quid, which I'm sure will go towards all those new liveries and helmets and suits that these guys put into the game today, if you haven't noticed in the update. I'm sure that's what everyone was using their prize funds for. But, yeah, that's going to be happening on the 10th of October, so I'm very much looking forward to it. There'll be one wet race as well during this event, but I don't really know which one it will be. I guess that's the whole idea. We're not going to know. And like I say, it was really successful last season, and I'm very much looking forward to doing it again. So, yeah, can't wait for that. And I'll be in the commentary box the whole time. So, basically, if I wasn't going to lose my voice for all the commentaries I'm doing so far this season, I will 100% lose it for this. And this is why I don't have any friends. And there we go. There's a lap. Dexter into the 1:09 9s. Good stuff. Getting some laps in there. I see a few people saying that they're going to be doing laps in the 108s. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing that. I'm hoping to get 107s in ILR3 at the weekend. I'm trying to learn no ABS in time for that. So fingers crossed I can do that. That'd be quite cool, wouldn't it? I'd actually maybe get into ILRT at last. I have the shirt with my name on it, but I never actually joined the team. It was a cool shirt though. You can get that on our website still, I believe, at ILRGT.com. There's plenty of other merch there as well. We haven't really advertised that too much, I don't think, but there is stuff there actually, believe it or not. I think that the t-shirt on that is only like 30 quid. It's a decent price. It's a nice shirt as well. Anyway, we've got a few people in the chat. We've got Chris Morris, Alpha for the win. Well, he'll be hoping for that, won't he? Unfortunately, he can't be here. I think that's straw blonde, isn't it? Unbelievable. You could have taken the Championship lead. What if Baza has a disaster? You could have been there. There's Mike going fastest there. We got Alfie Jensen around as usual. Hello. You're good at this. You're making it on time now. Is Jacko? Is that a Wall of Champions fatality? Let's find out. I was hoping we were going to see there from the onboard of Moraz, but I think we're going to have to look from Camo Babu as well, and it is in the Wall of Champions. Jacko there, ruining Camo Babu's lap there. We've got Propa in there. Hello, nice to see you. I'll be keeping an eye on, well, will I be keeping an eye on you? I have to try and figure out what you're going to be doing in the chat today, because there's nothing to worry about on the track this time. And yeah, Chris, he's saying he's sitting on the balcony with a beer. A bit busy. Yeah, I can imagine. And watching Camo Babu, I'd be very surprised if he can improve his lap, because as you can see, his ERS is absolutely shot to bits. There's absolutely none of it left. Well, that's a lie, but there is pretty much none of it left. Oh, no, it's a dry race, Alfie. It's a full-on dry race. Dry qualifying, dry race. Very un-Canada-like, as I'm sure you will agree with. Very un-Canada-like. But, oh well, helps these guys out, I guess. Means we can get some proper good racing, because last race I commented on here, it was wet, and it got good towards the end, but mainly in the wet. I don't think the racing is as good here. But, listen, these guys can make a good race out of anything. And, yeah, we'll see how they get on in the dry. 3 DRS zones, remember. Down to turn 1, then let's try and figure this out. Down to turn 8, and then down to the final chicane at the Wall of Champions. Plenty of DRS opportunities, but all very long straights, and it should lead to some, hopefully, controlled chaos. And, yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be good. So we've got 7 minutes to go in qualifying. I'm hoping we'll get some proper laps in. It seems these guys are really taking their time, aren't they? We're not really finding many great laps at the moment. I'm also looking to see if anyone's going to qualify on the mediums. There's a few out there already who are doing laps on them. But, yeah, let's just find one. Here's championship leader Baza, ahead by 21 points, as I said earlier, to Zeppa. So basically, if Zeppa wants to take this championship lead tonight, he has to win with Baza out of the points. Pretty simple on paper, but good luck doing it on the track. We'll see how they get on with that tonight. Of course, it is only round 7, still early stages. We hit the 1/3 point of the season tonight. So, certainly plenty of time to work on this, but still, watching Baz as he tries to thread his way through these horrible chicanes, by the way. Have you ever tried these chicanes on no ABS? I'm sure some of you have. Plenty of you probably have, actually. And, yeah, it's not fun. Let's just say that much. Trying to learn this for ILR3 is pretty much like sticking pins in my eyes or something. It's horrible. I hate seeing these stupid curves. You keep spinning on them and then you keep locking up on them and your rear tire just lights up and it's horrendous, and I actually hate this track. I used to love this track and now I hate it because of the stupid chicanes. Like the hairpin's fine, but the chicanes, oh my god, see this chicane? You can cut it so massively on the inside on the first little right-hander, but on the left it's just horrible. Anyway, what's that like with Baza? On mediums, will he go fastest on the mediums? No, he won't. He will go 6th fastest, 2nd fastest off the medium runners. Ah, we got the Camo Babu fan club here again. Good to see you. Are you still hyped, lads, about the win last week? Of course, if you haven't seen it, Camo Babu did take the victory last week. He had scored 18 points up till Monaco, and he just took a cheeky 25-point haul. That puts him up to 7th in the championship. He could end up 4th by the end tonight. It would take some gargantuan effort, but it's possible. In fact, sorry, no, he may even end up 3rd, because we haven't got Strawball on here. Hold on, let me just quickly get the standings up. Yeah, he could end up 3rd tonight if all goes his way. He would need a 2nd place. Or maybe, I don't know what fastest lap situations are like, or win situations are like, but he will be 2nd to go level on points with Strawball in 3rd. And then a win to go 2nd, but that would be very interesting with Zeppedoodle actually being here. But yeah, this would be interesting, very interesting. But we're watching him as he heads through onto the, well, this is actually technically the first DRS zone on the track, because the other two, obviously the second one comes up later on, and the final one, even though it's on the main straight, actually starts after the final corner, before the line. But that's not how you want to be taking this track, and that shows the difficulties on these chicanes. You can really light the rears up and hit the wall like Camo Babu just did there. Will he pit? I guess he will. But yeah. Chris says he'll still be here, but we'll see. We'll see if he get here. Anyway, will he pit? Marty will. I'm just not getting any luck with these laps today, am I? I'm just not going to get one. There's Splinter. P5. I got one. The end of one. Doesn't really have the same ring to it, does it? Oh, Jack is on track. I've been avoiding him, unfortunately, because I keep forgetting he's here. Jack's here, people! League owner. Love it! Nice to see you. Nice to not see you. Fly Emirates. Fly better. Oh, right, I'm getting confused now. You'll be on top spot in the championship. You'll be back for Austria. Oh dear, you'll be back for Austria. That'll be some title charge. Looking forward to seeing that. You'll be way behind if you're not. If Baz is on top form. Anyway, I want to ride on board with our league owner here, because this could be a pretty fun lap for him. Looking obviously to go right to the top of the medium runners. That'll be P6, I guess. Oh, Ferry Ellis has just got a 5-second penalty, and that's in the, or 5-place grid penalty. That's for a collision in the pit lane. That's a bit unfortunate. I feel it's one of those situations where it actually can't be avoided, but that's a real shame, that. Anyway, here's Jack on his lap. This is actually quite handy because he is the only one on a lap. Okay, fine. Don't go on a lap then. Let me just. All I want to do is watch somebody on a lap. What normal lap? That's all I ask for. Right, who's on a lap? Are you on a lap too, Jay? I think he is actually, but he's just gone extremely wide. But we'll still follow it until these guys on the sauce start to actually put their laps in. I'll just quickly see if anyone's actually close to crossing the line on that. I'm stuck on camera. Can I not look at the top, guys? Thank you. Right. Looks like Murdoch will be the first one. So let's actually ride on board for a lap here. Let me talk you around the lap. Breaking hard here. I tend to go into third here, as does these guys. Yeah, the game recommends 4th actually, but it doesn't really work too well for me. And you can go down to first into turn 2 for extra turn, but I'd be exiting in 2nd gear personally. Down to 4th into here. I think third's a bit unnecessary unless you go really deep and you just throw it down a bit extra. Turn 5 flat out, nice and simple in the dry. Anyway, in the rain it's a complete nightmare. You've no idea. Through the chicane 6 and 7, and then onto the first DRS zone of the track. Up towards turn 8 we go, and this chicane, you can cut the inside a little bit there on the entry, but on the outside, if you go anywhere near crossing those white lines, you are going to be pulled on your lap time. And in towards the hairpin. He's actually down so far in his lap is Murdoch, and he's broke very deep into the hairpin. Not the best lap so far, but we'll see if he can execute a good final sector. He hasn't got much ERS though to use. It might not be a very quick lap time here. Now the final chicane, we'll ride on board with this as well. Let's see how much commitment he's got. Down to 4th into here, I think. Most people should be doing that. 5th on the exit. And across the line. He's not going to improve massively, but he does improve a little bit. I think it was invalid though anyway, so it was completely pointless. Right, here's Moras. He's also low on ERS. These guys aren't saving the ERS on their out laps. That's really costing him at the minute. Who's that car ahead? Doesn't matter, didn't set a lap time. Moras is down. Right, let's watch Dexter. He's up on his middle sector, but he has to find 6 whole tenths to go into pole position. Mike's lap really was extraordinary there, 1 minute 9.1. I don't think we saw it. We saw one of his laps, we didn't see the fastest one. Now, towards the final chicane comes Dexter. He, well, he could have done actually with taking that toe off 2 die. I guess he didn't really think of doing that. Taking it nice and easy into the last chicane. As I say, you can cut that inside on the entry a little bit. And to the line, he's going to derate a tad, is he? Or has he managed to nail it? He has nailed it, but he has improved. And look at this, we're going to see Zeppadoodle. I want to ride on board with the Williams here, because he might get a godly run. But then again, so might Ivory. Not Ivory, sorry, I keep reading that as Ivory, not Ivor. Mike, he would have got a good toe there as well. So these two are going to fight it out for pole. Which of these two will take that P1 spot? So far, Mike has got it. Will we see somebody get into the 1 minute 8 in this session? I think the answer to that is yes! As Mike takes pole by over half a second right now. Splinter there, we're watching him. Baza as well goes P8. But Splinter now to the line. It's all resting on him. Let's see if he can get that car into pole position. Let's change that to best time. Everyone in the top 10 will be starting on the soft as it stands. And it will stay that way because here comes Splinter. He hit the wall. That might have invalidated the time. And he will be starting 5th. And so, that is qualifying. Because there's Jack into the pit lane. And, yeah. It's a bit of a mess, that wasn't it? We didn't really get too many great laps. As Alpi said, should have saved his ERS some of these guys and they would have got better laps. I mean, I think Mike might have been the only one who sort of nailed it on his ERS conservation, seemingly, because he has just went out there and showed everyone how it's done round the circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Really incredible lap there. 1 minute 8.8. And that is pole position. Be interested to see how close the ILR4 drivers are to that later on, actually, because obviously I'll be covering that as well. In case you weren't aware, I know I literally just said it, but yeah, ILR8 and ILR4 for me tonight. So let's go through that grid. So Mike is on pole by over half a second to Zeppa in P2. Looking good in the points battle here to close in on Baza. Dexter 3rd, Moras 4th, Splinter 5th, Camu Babu 6th, Monkey Meg in 7th with Baza 8th, Vice 9th, and Jess into the top 10. All starting on the soft compound tires. Speedwood is 11th, Murdoch 12th, Shavs 13th, Jack 14th, Brandon 15th, 2 Die 16th, Ferrial 17th, Brad 18th, and Jack 19th. But he'll move up to 18th, as will Brad up to 17th, because Ferrial is going to start last. Should be all dry for this. Unless we get any nasty surprises. Which is not out of the question. Well, it is actually. It's completely out of the question. But ignore that. It's not relevant how likely it is to happen. Yeah, the sun is out. The smiles will be out for some of the drivers, I reckon. Others maybe would have preferred a wet race, but it should be pretty interesting on the strategy. Because like I say, everyone in that top 10 on soft, I reckon everyone behind might try some mediums on their starting set. We'll wait and see what they decide to do. But yeah, we're here on the grid, ready to go racing. We'll be doing, I believe, 35 laps around this track. It'll be fun. I'm sure. I'm sure you'll agree with me, that'll be good fun. just had to wait for everyone to get their stats not ready. I always wonder what these guys in the pit wall are chatting about, by the way, because they just don't stop, do they? I don't know why. I just love the animation in this game. They just never stop talking. It may be a weird thing to like, but I don't know. I just find it really funny. Anyway, starting tyres. This is interesting. Plenty of variations. So we'll just go through the grid again, on board as I usually do. Oh, you like the on-board camera, by the way? It's not bad, isn't it? It's I don't know. I kind of prefer it this way. That might just be me though. Let me know what you think about it, because I have changed it a bit from the last week. But anyway, it's Mike on pole on the sauce from Zeppa, Dexter, Moras, Splinter, Cambabu, Monkey Meg, Baza, Commander Vice, Jess, and Speedwood. They're all on the sauce. Also on the sauce are Shabs, Jacko, and Fairy Alice. Murdoch there is in 12th on mediums, as well as Brandon, Tudai, Brad, Jack. Yeah, they're all going to be starting on some medium compound tires, and it looks like Mike decided to floor it a bit there. He's yeah, probably you could do with slowing down a bit there. We got Jamie Cardy in there in the chat. Nice to see you. And we've got Daryl from the Camu Babu fan club in there to support him. Well, this needs a Twitter account, really. The Camu Babu fan club, doesn't this need a Twitter account? It seems like he's got a very loyal base of a loyal fan base. Something to consider, anyway. Also, once again, shameless plug for ourselves, but we are very, very, very close to that 1.4k subscribers. Okay, I'm making it a personal goal, I guess, to watch this hit 1.4k tonight. So if you are new here, do subscribe, put your notifications on, because you don't want to miss any races like this. This is going to be a very interesting race coming up. ILR8 Canada, and as we all line up, who's going to win the race? Put it in the comments, and we'll see what everyone's got to say. As the last car lines up on the grid, this is it. It's a very chaotic run down to turn 1 here on our normal start, but these guys, they like making their starts a little bit more interesting. We saw Monaco last week, it went 3 wide into turn 1, and now listen, I'm not always one to condone that, but I loved it. Let's see what they do this week. 5 red lights ahead of the drivers. Lights out, away we go. Super start there from Mike. He should easily this one to turn 1. Dexter should go to P2, and we're nearly 4 wide in the background. I'm very interested there. Is that Baza going for a half spin there as he dived up the inside of Zeppa, trying to get on the podium? And look at this, he's having a really scrappy start. Championship leader having all sorts of problems here, but I don't think he's got any damage, so he should be alright there. Side by side in the background there, Speedwood up 2 places already, trying to pass Jacko and succeeding. And there's Tudai in the wall. He has had an accident on lap 1. Zeppa is motoring. He is looking to get himself up into that P2 once again. He lost it and is trying to claim it back. And well, looked like it was a rather clean start. After that though, it's gone completely wrong for Baza now. It's just got worse and worse. He's had all sorts of adventures, but somehow he's got no damage on that Red Bull. Oh, that looked close. It was very close. I was wondering why Jacko went up by 3 spots. I wonder if this have anything to do with it. Jess making some contact with 1 or 2 of the cars there, and they were all getting very close and personal. And Jacko, is he looking to try and make another one up to P6? It was 10th a few seconds ago. I wonder what happened to him. We must have lost a lot of stuff there when we were watching Baza. But down towards turn 1, Monkey Man might fancy a little move. Decides not to go for it. Let's go back up to the leading battle though. Zeppa closing on Dexter still a bit. And then I'll see Dexter trying to get to Mike. Anyway, we've got a few Kamababu fans in there wanting him to win. Skyzy wants Jess on the podium. So yeah, we've got plenty of Camu Babu fans anyway. But so far it's Zeppa making the moves. Is he fancying one on the inside? I hope he's aware that Jack Baza's got issues, because if he wins this race from here, he will take the championship lead. But he doesn't go for the moves too early. In fact, he's been hit. Who hit him? Who hit him? I don't know who hit him there, but he was definitely hit, because he should have got that position off Dexter, because Dexter went so deep. He might still get it though, side by side, down towards the last chicane. Was it Moras that went into the back? Doesn't look like any damage. I wonder if it's just a glitch or something, but down the inside, into the last chicane. This never ends well, but through into P2 goes Zappa, one position away from that championship lead. So, starting lap 3, Michael will have been very happy to see this fighting going on behind, because he's now got a 1.8 second lead. And he can use that to maybe see some ERS, get himself ready to prepare for some attacks that might come at him later on. Because, yeah, Zappa will be a man on a mission right now. He will know that he has the championship lead in hand if he can just get ahead. With Baza down and really far behind now in P17. How far is he off the leader? He's already nearly 20 seconds off the leader. Really not a good position for him to be in right now in that Red Bull. While Zappa is only 1.3 seconds off. He's getting half a second on this lap. He's also taking Dexter with him. And it looks like Camo Babu's fancying a look here on Moras as well. We could see a lot of action still in the next couple of laps, but let's go back up to Zappa. I think there's only one detection point. I think we've got some Renaults and a Ferrari having some fun. Yes, we do. We've got Murdoch and Jacko and Shabs having some fun. We'll catch up on those guys later, because look at this. Camo Bab on the inside. Moras has to cut the final chicane. And up into P4 goes the McLaren driver. And we've got Zappa fastest lap, over a second quicker. That time round the mic. This is surely going to be a fight for the lead in a moment. And Dexter is still there. He is still very much there, and I think we all know, if he sees a fight, if he sees an opportunity, I'm sure he'll go for it. But he is now outside that DRS range. Zappa, right on the back of Mike now. First time he'll get to use some DRS in this race, I believe. There it goes, that rear wind's open, you can see it in the mirrors. It's the best place to sort of see it, because there's no other actual way to see it. But on the inside, as you came, no real chance of going for moves there, so it's all about setting your exits up for maybe I go into the hairpin, or maybe I go into the Wall of Champions chicane. But even then, we've seen it's possible, but we've also seen it can go a tad wrong, even on your own, with Jacko in qualifying. But here we go. It is Zappa versus Mike. 1.6 seconds behind us, so they've got plenty of time to fight it. But here comes Zappa on the inside for the lead, and also for the lead of the championship. He's done it. Up into the lead he goes. Now, all he has to do is pull away and get this victory. Look at this, we've got some more fighting going on in the background. Moras, Camo Babo, a nice Splinter getting involved. Who's going to find some space here? On the inside, which will soon become the outside, goes Moras. He spins across the track after being hit by Splinter, and the three of them hit multiple times. And I think the only ones to get away with no damage there was Moras, but there's still more cars coming. Jacko there, or sorry, Jack himself, sorry. Jacko himself went up to P4. Moras now down into 10th. Speedwood. Oh, is he spinning again? Moras, of course, when you spin once, the car can very easily overheat its tires. It'll be very difficult to stay on the track. Murdoch and Shabs going side by side, and once again, even in a flat-out kink, that racing point is so twitchy right now. Let's see if he goes and spins again. I think he should hopefully be alright there now, but Jack is really gaining that. He had to properly stop. He has a bit of front wing damage, actually. But he is up to P7. Jack will be pretty happy with himself as well. But Camo Babo, was there any damage to his car? I'm sure there's probably damage to his car. Splinter 2. Let's have a look here down this back straight. Look out for the front wing end plate that's missing on the left, the end fence, sorry. Certainly on the left is missing. On the right, I think it's also missing as well. Let's see if he pits. Yeah, he'll pit. I guess he'll go on some hards and just try and go to the end. I guess that's all you really can do. Mediums, actually, for Camo Baba. Okay. This is fun. Look at this. We've got Murdoch, we've got Brandon, we've got Shabs, and Brandon, I think, is made up of about 6 or 7. No, I want to say it's made up of 8 places. 6. Okay. It's a bit wrong. But he's looking at trying to make some more up. I'm saying that. We've got Jacko and Jack making 22 places combined. So, you know, plenty of people doing plenty of nice moves. Mike is staying on the back of Zappa rather well. He'll be using that DRS to help him, you know, pull away from Dexter. These two are certainly pulling themselves away at the moment. And like I say, the DRS there, you can see how powerful it is. It'll just keep him in a good gap. And look at this Monkey Meg, front wing damage compared to Jack. Oh, with front wing damage as well. We love to be smashing those front wings. I think you can see that already from the utter chaos we've had. And I think Jack is gonna not go for tier. He's not even using high ERS, and in fact, Monkey Meg will pit. Didn't fancy those tires anymore, it appears. And Brandon, 3 seconds time penalty, as well as Shabs. Now that's looking fun. Here's Brandon on the inside of the Ferrari. Gets through. What about Shabs? That's a very nice move there. He had to find the gap. A little bit of wheel binding, but that was very opportunistic and very well executed there from Shabs. Ahead of Murdoch. Brad now catching up to this. I don't think Brad has actually scored a World Championship point this whole season. So he'll be looking to get that point now. I don't think the Tarossa scored a point either. Oh, that's into the back though. He might get in trouble for that, Brad. Front wing damage on the Mercedes, and I think that's on both end fences, or just one side. I forget it's a black end fence on that Mercedes. But Murdoch now down to 10th. You could argue that wasn't his fault. Is that front wing gone? Jack has lost even more of that front wing now, I think. We've got yellow flags though for Ferry Ellis, I believe. I thought that yellow flag was for Jack originally, you see, but no, it's for Ferry Ellis. So he'll be overtaken by his teammate anytime soon. And he pitted earlier on, did Command Device, as well as 2Die. Oh, in the wall. That was a mess. That was a mess. That was really clumsy, that. Oh, that's even clumsier. Is that even a word? Oh, dear. Jack into the pit lane. Front wing gone. Medium's on. Does that rhyme? Does that count as a rhyme? I don't know. Anyway, out of the box he goes. Murdoch, 3-second time penalty. But like I say, the guys on hards have a chance of going to the end on them, so we'll have to keep an eye on them. Camel Babu, I think I just saw, got the fastest lap, but he's on a fresh set of mediums. He'll have to pit again, most likely, unless the tires can get to the end. They might just get to the end, I don't know. I don't know how big the tire wear is. I guess it will be a soft to medium strategy, which is what I actually always want to see from these. It's a good strategy to have, because it means you can really push the whole way and have some good pace and enjoy yourself. So anyway, as it stands in the championship, Baza is now looking at trying to get himself ahead of this whole group. Honestly, he needs to be ahead of this whole group, as Zeppa pits for the first time in this race, as well as Mike, Dexter, and maybe Jacko as well. Yes. Speedwood, does he fancy a little trip into the pit lane? Will he fancy leading a lap? He'll fancy leading a lap, if he can get out in the lead, that is. Here's Zeppa leaving the pit lane again. Mike behind. There is Speedwood. I don't think he's going to lead. Ah, that's a shame. Ah, well, he doesn't lead then. Brandon as well said that, as well as Brad, Murdoch, and Baza. But what I was going to say though, with Zeppa in the lead, he'll be 4 points clear in the championship. And Baza, at the moment, if it finishes 1-8, they'd be equal at the top. But there's still more pissed off for Baza to come. So we'll wait and see how that all pans out. But right now, if the race finished right now, and we were given full points, they'd be equal on the top, these two. And that is just what you want to see, isn't it? A nice close championship fight. And there's Murdoch going for it on Brad on the inside into a very difficult chicane. He has to cut the corner to avoid any contact. Yellow flags in sector 3. It's nothing apparently. Looks like Mike has really gained a lot more on these pit stops though. Or maybe he was more aggressive into the braking zone for the pit lane, but he's now back within a second of Zeppa. Maybe some front wing damage or something. Maybe just didn't heat the tires, or maybe he stood into the wall. Let's try and figure this one out. Or maybe he has just had a bad out lap. Looks like Murdoch and Brad are still going for it. And Baza too. Okay, actually Baza pits. He decides not to get involved in this, which is probably for the better. There's a bit of front wing flying up in the air as Brad and Murdoch, well, do that. I don't think Murdoch will be a very big fan of Brad after this. He might just do him a solid himself, but both front wing damaged. Camel Baba will be waltzing to get by. There he goes. Bit of a mess, wasn't it? To say the least. Baza then comes out in 15th again, you see, that's where his issue is. But Dexter trying to pass Brandon for the podium. on the outside. There's a wall that protrudes out there on the outside. It'd be difficult to see it in these conditions, but you got to be careful when you go side by side there. You don't accidentally knock into that barrier. DRS here for Mike as he starts to close in on our race leader. Into the final chicane. He's going to be about 6/10 behind. Murdoch, 5-second penalty for corner cutting. These two are still going for it, and the wall goes the Ferrari. This is getting pretty dirty, isn't it? Really dirty. These guys are loving smashing each other into the wall, that's for sure. Brandon lost that position, but Mike and Zeppa are getting closer and closer by the sector as Brad now gets a penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and Murdoch too, and that pretty much ends the sorry. Taylor's a car off! It's Splinter in the Wall of Champions who's had to try and recover the best he can. I don't think there's any major damage. He might have front wing damage on the left. And see Sebastian, see Lance, this is how you do it. This is nearly how you do it. Not hitting another car, just letting them go by and then trying to spin back around. But Splinter, front wing damaged massively and lucky to still be running, I guess, but pretty much screwed. Brad, even though he has to change that front wing, is still out ahead. Murdoch, not as lucky. In fact, he's last only to Farias, who's had, well, we've already seen his issues. He's been spinning like a top. Anyway, back to the top two. Zeppa and Mike are still fighting away here. Baza now is up to 12th. And who's yet to pit? Brandon, pretty much. I think everyone else has pitted once, haven't they, at least? Yes, that's correct. So, Brandon, is there a car off? Farias has gone off, but I think that's just to let the lap car, or the car through to lap him. Of Camu Babu. But as I say, Brandon only wants to pit left, so that would put Baz at 11th, I assume. So yeah, Baz is going to have to get his overtaking game on. He's behind 2 cars at the moment. He has to pass 3 on track, pretty much, unless there's a retirement ahead, in which case he'll pass these 2 and another one up ahead. But I'm sure he'll probably fancy his chances here. Back up to the leaders. Mike is going to look for some more lovely tasty DRS. He's setting his fastest middle sector for himself in this race, looking at setting the move up effectively and quickly, and let's see if he can get through. He's got enough ERS to push, while Zeppa might be running a bit low on fumes, and look at how quickly he's closing as a result. Down into the final chicane. A good run through here, and Mike might fancy this lead back again, and this is big for the championship as well. If Baz well, doesn't get into the points, he will need Zeppa to not win this, and he's got no ERS left. You can see how little pace he's got as a result. Mike has that fastest lap. He takes the fastest lap point right now. Spencer will be doing a good idea to get out of the way as Camo Babo tries to pass Brandon into that final chicane, and they pretty much come to a standstill as Camo Babo has to let Brandon back through after cutting that chicane in a rather obvious way. But he's going back up the inside again. Oh, Monkey Meg in the wall. At the Wall of Champions, he must have spun into that wall. I don't quite know how he's ended up with that tire coming off. Interesting, but that'll be that position that Bowser needed. If he can just get by these 2 now, and then obviously Brandon's pit stop, he will be in that position to retain this championship lead. But that might not even be needed, because look at this. Mike is really piling the pressure on now, but Zeppa has now saved more ERS than the Ferrari behind. This will be a much more even fight. Of course, DRS will help, but if there's enough ERS to fight it, I don't think Zeppa will lose his lead. But let's see, down the inside to the final chicane, there may be no room left, and in fact Zeppa's going for the exit line, but there's no DRS for him. Mike, I think, has this one. Mike leads this race. I don't see Zeppa getting back past. I saw some yellow flags. I don't think there's anything too major though, so Baza back in that championship lead. And look at this, Camo Bab, we're going to go side by side with oh, wow, I was going to say he's going to go side by side with Brandon again, but they decided to not do that this time. Oh, look at this. This is getting fun. We've got a real trade now behind Vice, who will be going to the end on these tires, so it's not like he's, you know, just here waiting for a pit stop. He's going to be going to the end of this race, so these guys have to really be careful and make the right overtakes at the right time. Which is easier said than done, even on a track with 3 DRS zones. We've already seen the blunders of an overtake here. we'll see how these guys handle it. But on board with the McLaren speed, because these guys are also catching up to Shabs. Oh no, sorry, that's Ferry Ellis, unfortunately. Actually, still he's being lapped by pretty much the whole field at this point. We all get through nicely. That's a yellow flag for him letting people through. I mean, you'd think the game would know who's letting who through, as Jess goes through as well. Back up to the leading battle. Zeppa fancies it into turn 1, does he? Or he's not actually. He's going to save the ERS. Monkey Meg leaves. Ah, dear. Better be turning that stream on, lad. You better be come here to watch. I mean, I've got nothing against you if you don't. But it'd be nice if you did stay. Alright, let's go back to these guys, because I'm kind of worried about what's going to happen here. Speedwood on the inside of Commander, who's also very close to Baza, who's managed to get them both. Ah, well, that might be how we saw Monkey Meg get into the wall. Maybe it was just contact that spins the car around. We all knew that was going to happen, didn't we? Now, this could be disqualification if he drives backwards. He's got to be really careful. I mean, the game's a really stupid system when it comes to this. But I think Speedwood's got away with it okay, of course, apart from the obvious. But yeah, Baz has got ahead of these guys now, but he has got a penalty. But he is up to P9 as these guys continue to scrap away. And looks like Zeppa Doodle has got the lead back again as we're watching all that. And Jack up to P5 as well. Good race for the Renault driver. But Zeppa back in the lead of this race and back in the lead of the championship again. And Speedwood, I think, has had another disaster. I think he might have just DC'd. Yeah, Browning's tires are going a bit. Well, that's kind of concerning for everyone else. Will it be a 2-stop, I wonder? We'll wait and see. But yeah, Zeppa back in the lead again. It's a bit of a back and forth, this one. Gordon Allison just saying in the chat, asking if you can join the league. I think you can check on the ILR website. I think it's in our description on the video. I think you can also message Jack on the ILR account, which I believe is also in the description, our Twitter at ILR League. Just look around. I think there might still some mid-season sign-ups open. I'm not 100% sure, but look into that if you fancy joining. It'd be very nice to have you. Anyway, back to these guys fighting for the lead. A lot more ERS again, saved this time by Mike compared to Zeppa. Interesting dynamic these guys have got with their fighting style. Letting the other guy through, so they can just stay in the system, I guess, and save ERS and fly past him again. What this is doing, it means they're going so fast, is that they're now 15.1 seconds clear. And they're just driving phenomenally right now. And it looks like Moras and Commando, they're going for this again. Here's Jess looking to get into the World Championship points. She is going to the end. She's on much better tires compared to get these guys as well. She might be very much looking forward to a nice haul of points. She hasn't been in the points yet this season. She got P11 last time out in Monaco. Agonisingly close. Lost it on the line. Pretty much. I think it was very near the end of the last lap. And now she sees a chance at the 9th position in this race. And she's been very conservative, just waiting for her moment. And it might have just arrived. Here she goes on Command Vice. She looks on the inside, but Vice defends it. So this, obviously, Brandon being in the pits now for a whole lap now. He's come back out, obviously on the hards, going to the end. Will these guys have to 2-stop? We'll wait and find out. But at the moment, Baza doesn't need to. He should be okay to go to the end on these. Already up to P8 again, so he will be holding this championship lead level with Zeppa. I don't know who would have more wins, but either way, I think it's a 21 point gap between 1st and 8th on the official point scoring system. Ooh, Alfie's signed up as well. Nice. Gonna get to commentate on more than one league for once, oh my goodness. But Baza, if he can go to the end on these, he'll be looking rather nice after that spin on lap 1 and all the chaos he sort of had going on. We'll see if he can salvage some nice points, but at the minute, 21 point gap from where these guys are finishing right now will go to 0. And it looks like it'll stay with Zeppa in the lead for now, because look at him, he's pulling away now. Maybe see if the tires a bit better. Starting to pull away, and looks like Jess has got that P10 into the points. She goes as Vice gets a penalty. Yellow behind. For whom? I don't know. or care because it's gone now. Right, closest fight on track then is Vice and Jess, but I have a feeling Jess might pull away. We'll wait and see. Two dice, got another penalty. I haven't checked the penalties yet, actually. Let's see what Mike and Zeppa are like. Zeppa's got 1 penalty. I wonder if we're on strict here, because Mike has now got 2 penalties as well. Wouldn't surprise me if we were... Is that a second penalty for Zeppa? Yes, it is. A second penalty for Zeppa. So we've got 2 penalties for the top 2 guys. Luckily, they're 16.5 seconds clear of the nearest car, so they can afford some penalties. As long as they stay equal with each other, it could still be an on-track fight. So, Brad and Brandon, I believe they both haven't been in the World Championship points yet. Unfortunately, Brad will have to definitely 100% pit again. I don't know, like I said, about these guys in the hards, about the guys on the mediums up ahead. I haven't seen a dry race around this track this year yet, so I don't really know what to expect, but, there's Speedwood in the dependency, but that's a ghost car, isn't it? So it doesn't really matter. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what these guys do on strategy. Let's have a look at these position changes then, because there have been quite a lot happening. I think it's all mainly from the start, though, I believe. So Zeppa and Mike swap places. Dexter, rather lonely day, probably can't see anyone ahead or behind at this point, but he's in the podium spots where he's always been this entire race. Camu Babu's only went up 2. He's had decent pace, but he had that incident earlier on, sure, didn't he, with, was it Moras and someone else? Who was it? Brad, wasn't it? So that was all going on. Or was it Brandon? I don't really remember who was who, honestly, but all I know is that there was cars spinning and also front wing damage, and he had to change his front wing as a result of it. That's probably why he's not in the podium positions right now. But Jack has made the most out of anyone. He's made up 13 positions, even with a front wing change. He's still motoring. Could we see him fighting for that P4 soon? Jacko has made up 8 places, Shabs up 6, good day for Renan, and he made up a whole 19 spots combined, on target to score 18 points at the moment. Or, not 18, sorry, 16. Baza stayed where he started, phenomenally. Moras down 5, Jess where she started, Commando down 2, Brandon up 3, Brad up 4, Murdoch down 2, Splinter down 10, Murdoch with a penalty there by the way, 2 die stay where he started, Speedwood down 6, Ferrell is up 1, and Monkey Meg down 12, and out. Callum Moore in the comments. If Babo wins this race, I'll get a tattoo with ILR8 the Camo Canada show. I will hold you to this. I will hold you to this. Currently, Camo Babu has to make flip. 30 seconds up. Maybe, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Maybe we get a safety car though, then Camo Babu comes through the field and you're stuck with a tattoo for the rest of your life. Yellow flags, maybe this could be that safety car getting triggered. But who is it? Who's that in the wall? Is that Ferry? It is, Ferry else in the wall. What I've noticed actually, by the way, just speaking of safety cars, is that something like a spin is more likely to set off a safety car than an actual crash, I've noticed, because obviously we've seen some pretty big crashes in this race. I mean, we saw Monkey Meg in the wall, really big hit. But then I commented on another race around Spain the other week, and it was just a little spin that the driver recovered from instantly, no damage or anything. That put a safety car out. So yeah, what I know is that spins do it more often than crashes. Jack has a penalty, and Camo has a pit lane, and a team waiting to service him with some more mediums. Where's Baza in all this? Because this will give us a good idea of where he might come out in relation to the likes of Dexter, if they are to pit again ahead of him. That's his, that's Jacko, Shabs, and then Camo Babo. So if that's the gap, then yeah, Baza's only going to jump Camo Babo, I think. the rest will jump him. Camus says a tattoo would be worth it. I sort of doubt that, honestly. But you'll regret it eventually. Anyway, Zeppa pitting. Let's see what tyres. It will probably be mediums again. I wonder if someone would try risking the softs though. Be interesting to see, but back out on the track he comes. And yeah, this will be fun now, because Camu Babu has to pass Baza. It has to be a genuine pass, so he's going to have to do it soon. Baza defends to the inside line while also trying to intimidate Shabs. On the exit, we could see a run for Camo Yellow. Ooh, race leader Mike has just gone off the track. I wonder what's happened there. Is it the lap car that's got in the way? Jess getting in the way of that lap car as well. I don't really know what's going on there, but Camo Babu gets ahead of Baza, but they're going to go side by side towards turn 1. Shabs was giving Baza the toe, but then Camo Babu, I don't think he saw him. And that nearly ended up in another trip through the grass there into turn 1 for a driver. This time it would have been Camo Babu. But let's have a look at Mike. Has he broke the front wing or something? He was certainly off in the grass. He's broke the front wing. Is that off the back of Ferry Ellis' car? We'll wait and find out later on, but that could be race ruined. That could be second place gone as well. Let's wait and see, Mike. He'll speed as well. He had to change that front wing. It's all gone very wrong. And Zeppa will be wondering, where'd he go? Where'd he go? He's also going to the hards. I don't think that was the best hard to be on. I reckon he probably could have got away with going on to another set of the mediums. Maybe he didn't have any fresh mediums left. Maybe he used them in qualifying. I don't know. But let's see about Dex. Oh, Dexter's in the pits as well. Of course, Dexter still has to pit. I forgot that. It's getting excited over nothing. Getting excited over nothing. Is Jack gonna say it actually? Jack could get involved a little bit with all this. It'd be far enough ahead of Dexter to make it not really matter. Alfie saying that Canada is always a 2-stop, so okay, fair enough. Like I say, Mike there, that big mistake really cost him, because it would have been interesting to see if the hards would have been better than the mediums that he ended up, but we'll never find out. We will sadly never find out, but no, this is good news for Baza. He's up to P6 now, and honestly, as I say, going to the end, looking alright to get P5 at the moment, possibly. He should do it, but we'll wait and see. We will wait and see. Dexter now trying to get by Jack, but he should know that Jack will be entering the pit lane very shortly. Maybe Jack's going to wait it out a little bit, go on to some softs at the end, and deal with that. I think Zeppa just said fastest lap. He did just set fastest lap, although unfortunately for him, Baza will still be scoring 8 championship points regardless. It could even be more. Let's see. Will he pass Jack? Will Jack go into some softs? They are red, but I'll wait until the graphic tells me they're softs. They're softs on Jack's car. That'll be fun. But what's taking so long? The game. That's what's taking so long. Let's see then. Where is Baza? This could be quite close. Look up for the Renault. Oh, there it is. Okay. It's not even close to being close. Well then. Oh well. So Baza, P5, scoring 10 points compared to Zeppa's 26. That gap would be down to 5 points at the head of the championship, people. This could be getting quite fun soon, this championship fight. Baza, I believe, has been leading this thing since his win in Bahrain, if I remember correctly. So he's led this for a long old time. And would it be finally time for that gap to close and for someone else to come into the fight? We'll wait and find out. Oh, that's Moraz in the wall. Any front wing damage there? I don't think there is, which is good for him. But still inside the points. We've got Brandon. He's going to the end here. Will he be able to bring Torosso some points for the first time this season? It'll be a really big deal, I reckon, for them if they can do it. He's currently in P9. Hopefully they don't get any more last lap heartbreak as we saw with Jess last week. Yellows for Murdoch, was it? Front wing, okay. I wonder if he just had a bit of a slide then and put the yellow flags out for us. There must have been something interesting happening. I'm about to watch this championship gap fall from a 5-point gap at the end of this. to possibly a 3-point gap. There is an 18-point difference between 26 and 8. And as Baza loses that P5, he should finish 6th now, unless he doesn't. Unless he hits the wall, he should finish P5. Pretty much. Jess now, after making her second pit stop, is only one overtake away from some points. She should be on much better tyres than Murdoch. Could it be even a double score for the Toro Rosso team? Like I say, they could do with it. They really could do with it. Jess actually qualified 10th, to be fair. She is having a good weekend. Can I say it like that? She's having a good race meetup here in Canada. Not really actually Canada either. But, yeah. Could it be 2 Toro Rossos in the points? We'll wait and find out. But so far, it certainly looks like it's going to be 1 at the very least. Jacko on the back of Vice. Will Vice have to pit again? That's an interesting question. It could be 2 Toro Rossos in the points now because he is going to pit. Let's see. That would put every team on the point scoring board, I believe, as well. I do think Toro Rosso are the only team to not have a single point yet. There's this penalty being taken. But at the moment, if the race finishes like this, Toro Rosso are on for a big haul of 5 points. They would take that very much, I would imagine. And yeah, Jess and Brandon, 2 drivers with no points. The only other one on the board with no points is Brad. He's trying to fight himself up into P13. So might not be points for him today. Unfortunately, we haven't really got much in the shape of on-track fighting, but yeah, there's nothing really happening, unfortunately. And so once again, should probably take the opportunity while I'm here. 10th of October this year, we'll be having our next ILR 5-lap championship. As Jack takes that point, that means the championship gap will be 4 points, up from 3. But like I say, 10th of October, 5-lap championship, 9 races, all hosted by Jack. The mastermind behind it all is Baz at pits for some sauce, actually. It's getting confusing, this. Gap would now be equal if it finishes like this. God, just let me talk. And now Baz is behind in the championship. He's now going to be 1 point behind, I think. But he should get by. He will get by. Right, back to level, back to level, back to level. Calm it, people. Anyway, 5-lap championship, 10th of October. 9 races, 1 wet, 1 night race. Monaco. Curtain raiser at Belgium, finishing it off at a very wet, probably wet, dark, scary Monaco. 25 quid is our prize fund this year to go to the winner of the championship. And an extra £5 on top of that if they can win more than 50% of the races. 9 races pretty much means you have to win at least 5 to get that 30 quid prize. And that'll go towards stuff. Maybe like the new items that Codemasters added to the game today for customization. Because of course you have to bloody buy them. Yellow flags and a good fight there with Commando and Splinter. What was yellow flag for? Was it one of our leaders, or are we all alive here? We're all doing well. We're all living the life. Here comes Commando. Down the inside into the last chicane. He has got 7 laps here to get himself. Well, where would his target be? I guess Jess would be his target, wouldn't he? So let's see if he can achieve his dreams and get himself up to P9. Morath penalty. Brad penalty. I'm not even going to try and keep up with these penalties. There's going to be so many. It could shake it all up again when we cross the line. I don't think the top 2 should have any issues though. Or the top 3, or even top 4 for that case, or top 5. I think they should be alright, but behind that could be fun. Quite big gaps today. You might notice the likes of Tudai are nearly being lapped. One more mistake, they could be getting close to that threshold of being lapped. It's only 1 sector behind for a track like this, and yeah, I guess you would expect it to be a little bit closer than that. And looks like Vice has got by Murdoch into the hairpin. The man's on a charge. And he's looking to get himself up into P9 next. There is Jess up ahead. But there is also Murdoch behind, looking to try and get himself back into the points, of course. That move puts him out of those points. He'll want some of those. He'll want part of that cake. That sounds weird. And he's got 5 laps to try and regain. I don't think he will, though. His best hope probably will be trying to pass Jess. But then again, Jess is on much better tyres as well. Assuming Vice can even get by Jess in the first place. Because like I say, they're decent tyres. At the moment, Toro Rosso are on for 8 points overall. They're, yeah, gonna just infinitely celebrate this one, I imagine. This will be one of those big paydays. And they're 2 drivers who deserved it. Brown had a good run in Monaco, didn't quite work out for him, and so did Jess. Good run as well. They both had decent chances of points, but just 5 laps time, surely to God we'll see at least Brandon getting a good result. He's 1 second ahead of Baza at the moment, our championship leader. The one who'll be leaving level with Zeppa if it finishes like this. I think for the sake of the championship, Baza, stay behind, my dude. There goes Vice on Jess. Yellow flags. Jess sort of came to a standstill. That might be what it was for. That puts Murdoch in a good chance. Let's see Baza though on the back of Brandon. Brandon really cutting these corners now. But Baza has got a few penalties. Let's actually check that, because that could really affect him in this championship. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 penalties. What about Vice? I think he's also got 4. He has. I'm looking at Brandon now as well. I know Jess has got none here. Jess might gain hugely out of this. And that means this move is pretty much essential right now for Balsa to keep this championship lead. He goes for it and gets it. Bit of concept, but he does get the move. So Jess hasn't got a single penalty yet. What about Brandon? 5. Okay, that'd be interesting. So Balsa should keep that place on there. What about Murdoch? Murdoch's got... Flip me, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 7 penalties. Wow. Oh, Jess gets her first penalty, but as I'm saying, that might just put Bowser back into 8th, which will keep this level. What's the gap? Oh, we don't know Jess's laps now. Let's calculate this. It's about 9.5 to 10 seconds. Might be tight actually. Might be tight. Jess might not have enough actually to do that with that penalty she's got now. She would have been, but she isn't. Free to go in this Canadian Grand Prix. A race where, as I say, anything can happen, and for Baza it's been quite a day. Somehow he has actually gained positions at the start, but Zeppa, his main championship rival today anyway, with Strawblonde not here. And next week, I guess you could say those two are just our outright title protagonists at this point, unless Strawblonde, as he says he will, has a great few races and gets himself up there again. Point is, Zeppa's going to win this thing at the moment, and Baza, at the moment, would only be leading this championship by 2 single points. I wonder if Zeppa may even fancy pitting. It's maybe sounds silly, but he only loses by 15 seconds here. And if he decides to pit, he'll be flying on a set of softs, and he could go for fastest lap. And just get himself that 1 point closer, because he has to make 4/10 on the fastest lap today. I don't think he'd do it on those tires. Would he think of doing that? I don't think he would he? I think he's just more confident going for the win. But Baza gets another penalty. That could be crucial. That could be crucial. But Jess is still sort of falling like a stone, I think. She's, I think, sort of struggling on pace a bit, I guess, to compare it to Baza anyway. That gap is now pretty much 12 seconds, isn't it? Maybe I can't count. 6, 1, 11. Yeah, I think it's 11 seconds. I think she has that position on Baza by a point, by a second. We'll work this all out. As I say, penalties are going to be such a mess. But look at this, here comes Jack. Oh, he fancied it on the camo. He might get it still. He gets a penalty though. That could cost him, but he might still fancy the move anyway. Here we go, down towards turn 1. Jack having a great race. And he's just made it better. And Brandon behind Vice now. Into the hairpin. Tarasso still though running 9 and 10, still in the points. Jacko 3-second time penalty. Can we stop with the penalties, lads? Please? They're getting so difficult to figure out. Yellows. Not our race leader, is it? He's okay. We start the final lap. Is it Moras? It's Moras. He's been off the track. Moras falls to 15th. But we are, as I just said, on the final lap of this race. Here's Splinter on Murdoch. Trying to go. Camu's behind Jack. I think we'll get that one. So let's follow Zeppa on this, the final lap. Looking to go level with Baza in the championship. All depends on how these penalties with Jess and Baza go, because I think those two will be the biggest polar opposites. I think Baza's got 5 penalties and Jess has 1. Be a close one. At the minute, the gap I think is in Baza's favour, but we'll see how that all goes. But Zeppa, if he doesn't leave level, he'll leave 2 points behind, and he'll probably take that, having been 21 off at the start of proceedings. But here he comes to the end of the race. A race that he's had to work for. He had some good fights with Mike earlier on, but after the Ferrari drivers were 6, it became pretty plain sailing. And from second on the grid, Zeppa has shown he is definitely one for this championship as he comes to the line. Zeppa wins the Canadian Grand Prix, and we're going to have to wait a full 15.7 seconds to see the second place driver. Look at that. Vice is the first car across the line unlapped. Jess up to P8 with that. Brandon out of the points. Mike P2. We'll wait for these results to be confirmed, but Brandon with his penalties has fallen to P11, unfortunately. What about Baza? Do you know? It's because Jess is a lap down, of course. Baza, the penalties might not actually apply to Baza because he's still going to finish a whole minute ahead of her, I guess. I think that's how it works. So he might actually be okay there. Camo's 4th. Jack had millions of penalties. So 7 from Mike, Dexter, Camo, Jack, Jacko probably, and then Baza, Jess with her first points of the season. 4 points for her. Splinter, Vice, Brandon, Shabs, Murdoch, Brad, 2 die Speedwood. More actually just retired on the last lap, and Ferry Ellis. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that is Jess' best result in ILR history. I'm not too sure. She's also been going on about getting. I think Jacko had. Jess on his ones to watch. I think he might have also had Zeppa. So this is the thing that Jacko has good ones to watch. His sort of decisions. He knows what he's talking about. Let me just check that. Let me just check that actually. Just out of curiosity. Oh no, sorry. He had Mike on his ones to watch. So do you know what? P2. He said that Mike should be fighting for the win, and he was. Didn't quite get that win, unfortunately. And yeah, Jess was on his ones to watch. So Jacko, once again, Mr. Prediction, has done it again. Good predictions there, lad. Good stuff. And a good win for Zeppa, who will now be 2 points behind, I think, in the World Championship. That's going to be fun. So let's quickly confirm that. Zeppa wins. Puts that gap down to 19 points. Down by 19 points to 2 at the top. Mike 2nd. Dexter 3rd. Campbell Bebo 4th. Jack 5th. Jacko 6th. Baza 7th. Jess 8th. Splinter 9th. Vice 10th. Brandon 11th. Shabs 12th. Murdoch 13th. Brad 14th. 2 Die 15th. With Speedwood 16th. Mora 17th. Ferry Alice 18th. And Monkey Mick 19th. And that has been the Inside Line Racing ILR8 Canadian Grand Prix. But guess what? It's not all you're going to see of me. Tune back in 20 minutes and you can get to see me commentate on Carriage having another disaster, commentate on Noel having another disaster, commentate on Paul having another disaster, and commentate on Shapalili dominating the entire field after losing his seat in ILR3 because of work? Something like that. Basically, there's a lot happening in ILR4. You better be watching that one at 8 PM. I mean, you can watch ILR5 as well, but like, I'm not gonna promote someone else. Well, I just did. I'll be back in 20 minutes with ILR4. Right, see you then. Good, bye bye. Safe travels. Make some popcorn or something.